there's my son, Lawrence. He was 7 years old, and then he was diagnosed with cancer. And as a mom, I know many of you are moms, and even if you are having a preschool, you are a mom to a lot of children. But as a mom who always thought I was doing the best I could for my children, feeding them the right way, loving them the right way, it was a massive wake-up call. And especially with your own child, and with cancer, because there was very little information available 20 years ago when he got the cancer. But within 7 months, we were standing by his grave. And that is when Lucas and I decided the legacy our son is going to leave us is, how can we minimize the chances that other people in this world are going to have to bury their own children as well. So it started us questioning a lot of things, doing massive research on causes for cancer. And I'm so thankful there were webinars not too long ago about the truth about cancer. Excellent series if you can ever get hold of it to follow, because it really gave us a good foundation to work on. But I'm going to try and share a lot of the little things that we picked up in our walk, and maybe you can apply it in your own lives. Some of the things you might go, wow, Leona, you're way overboard. You know what? Just take the first step. See where you can start. And then you can send us emails, WhatsApps, but the best would be to come to that workshop where we can have it again. When we have these symptoms, we often go, oh, I'm getting a cold, I'm coming down with something, I've got, my skin is getting dry, I've got a runny nose, itchy eyes, headaches, sneezing. You know, have you ever thought about it? That might not actually be caused by a virus. It could actually be the food you eat. It could be the environment. It could be things of which you are totally in control of, but unaware of that they are actually causing these symptoms, because we so quickly say, oh, I've got a cold, I need to go to the doctor to get some medicine. So I'm going to share with you what possibly could be causing a lot of these symptoms in your household. It could be your food choice. It could be just food ingredients. It could be the portion sizes even. It could be because your food is either not natural or it's very chemically based. And look at what we can do. I just want you to learn to read your labels. And I'm going to show you today how you can read your labels, because at least here the government is very strict. You cannot put a lie on a label. But you know how we say you've got to tell the truth, but maybe I'm not going to tell you the whole truth. I'm wanting you to learn how to read your labels, because this is going to make you a wise shopper. I'm going to encourage you to start using natural or organic. I want you to look at minimizing processed food as well, because we specifically be going to be looking at food, because what you put in here is what's going to be affecting your whole body. And I'm going to encourage you to avoid chemicals and toxins. And the main reason I'm going to be looking at that as well is that actually destroys your immune system. That is what's destroying your gut flora. And if your gut flora is destroyed, your immune system is low, you're not going to be digesting the food. And if you're not digesting the food, you are not getting the nutrition from that food. So you can see it's not just one thing that I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be looking at a whole range of things, and that's why I'm going to really need to fly through this talk this morning. But I'm hoping it'll, you know, we've still definitely got a week left of lockdown 4. So maybe you can have a look at some things in your household and make some decisions as you move on from here. As I said, this is the webinar that I followed, The Truth About Cancer. And the bottom line they said is to overcome cancer or to prevent it from happening is, look at those 5 things. Exercise. Well, we're all told to walk at least 10,000 steps a day. And even if you can't go outside, stand in your flat, stand in your duplex, walk up and down the balcony and just walk. It's about a half an hour to 45 minutes that you need to be moving your legs. You want to eliminate toxins. That's why I'm going to be focusing on looking at where do we find these chemicals, because no one's going to say, hey, look at my products, they are full of toxins, because what do the shops want you? They want you to come and buy their product. We need to look at your diet, we need to look at nutrition, and we need to look at liver health. Now, you can't particularly focus on your liver health, because it's one of organ in your body, but your liver is the big organ in your body that's processing everything. It's the factory in your body. So you're wanting that to be healthy. And if it's not healthy, you are going to have those symptoms: sluggishness, headaches, sore eyes, sore body, sore joints. But as you can see, there's at least 4 things that you can do. And it's those 4 things that I'm going to quickly look at this morning. And hopefully from that, you will become an even better mom, a better teacher, a better carer, a better person that can share information. And if some of the things I say, you go, whoa, Leona, go do your research, and I'd love to have your feedback. I'm always happy to learn, and I'm always happy to improve, because I don't want to grow old looking 90 when I'm not even 70 yet. And I want to have a healthy skin. I want to play with my children. I want to play with my grandchildren. So where shall we start? Well, we're going to start with marketing, because adverts are liars. So I've got a marketing background. I know what I told people I wanted them to hear. I also know what I didn't tell people, because I didn't want them to hear it. And this is a picture that my son took for me, and it's an example of what marketing does. We show you these beautiful things, we put on the packets, enriched with all these vitamins, and it's the healthy choice, and we put beautiful pictures up there, and you can see the milk running, and everyone, happy children and happy smiles, just like this photograph. I mean, gee, look at this water. You can come and have a swim, or you can put your table next to the side of it, and you can have a picnic. You can even bring your boat, and you can come and swim in this water. That's the story I'm telling you. This is actually what that picture looks like. It was that tiny little pond, and just where we put the camera changed your whole perspective. And this is what marketing does. We promise you the earth, we make everything look so glorious, but when in actual fact, when you come down to really looking in what is really in this product, it's a big lie. And they're just trying to bamboozle you. And that's why I'm going to look at reading your labels. It's so, so, so important. So let's see where we start when we're looking at food. In food, we have on the left-hand side there's different types of food. We have milks, we have vegetables, we have fruits, we have grains, we have meat, and then we have like a tiny little corner at the top there. Can you see there? Another category. When we talk about food, we can't just look at food without looking at water. And as you can see on the right-hand side there, water is so much more important than the actual food you eat. We often read of fasts in the Bible, and we hear that Jesus and Moses and Elijah went for 40 days without food, but they still drank water in those 40 days, and you can survive on that. Look how much water you are needing to get in your body every single day. And this is why on the Crash Course we encourage our teachers, have water available for your children. Have a jug there with water in it that they can go and pour themselves water anytime, because often our tummies start rumbling and we think, oh, I'm hungry. No, you might actually be thirsty. 70% of your body is made of water. So always keeping in mind, we're going to look at food, but the bottom line is the minimum for especially adults, I'm talking to you, 8 glasses of water a day, and preferably pure water. That's a totally different topic, and I don't want to even go down that tangent of what is actually in your drinking water that comes from the tap. But look at your toddlers, age 1 to 3, 4.5 glasses of water. That's a lot of water to drink in a day, and you can't have them standing in a queue and you're saying, okay, yeah, here's 4 glasses of water, you've got to drink it in one shot. But find a way which you can measure the water that the child is drinking. Nursing mums, breastfeeding mums, look how much water you're needing to drink in a day, because your water is what's going to help you with your milk production. So we're going to keep these things as a foundation, always knowing I'm going to be coming back to this as well. So let's start with breastfeeding moms or moms that have got pregnant and are looking into breastfeeding. I know a lot of the ladies that are on the course are preschool teachers, and you're going to have babies come to your creche, and obviously mom can't be there to breastfeed them. So I'm going to give you some alternatives that you can fall back on. But always remember this. It is highly recommended that breast milk should be the only source of food for a child at least up to 6 months. It's the healthiest form of nutrition. It's the right temperature, it's got the right ingredients, it's unpolluted, you don't have to worry about bottles. So if a mom is going to bring her child to preschool and she's still breastfeeding, I would highly recommend teachers that you say to them, please send breast milk that you have expressed. It can survive in a fridge. And at least that mom knows the child is getting all that nutrition and antibodies that's going to keep it healthy. I have a massive challenge with formula milk because it's man-made and it's processed, but you know, some people do need to err on that side. I would definitely though minimize baby cereals. This is a big marketing gimmick. And when we start looking at reading our labels, I think you will start realizing what a challenge they are presenting in our lives. A lot of people, because you can see that they cause constipation. A lot of people say, oh, but my baby's always crying. He must be hungry. I need to feed him. I need to get food. I need to fill his tummy. Well, I've got a question to ask you. That baby is a human being, just like you. Every time you cry, are you hungry? Or could it maybe be an emotion? Could you maybe be a hurt? Could you just maybe be feeling sad? Could you maybe be feeling alone? So it's not always hunger. And I would really err to the side of making it your last resort to start filling that baby's tummy, because you're going to see there can be very big disadvantages. I would also highly recommend, as I've said there too, if you are either pregnant or you are breastfeeding, please feel free to contact Liesel. She's involved with a group called the Lalash League, and they have amazing information for you and a caring attitude, and it's a lovely community to belong to, especially when you are faced with small children. So let's see with breastfeeding and solids, when do you introduce solids? Well, there's 4 things you can look at. They must be able to sit on their own without support, because then the body's starting to tell you the digestive tract is ready. They must be able to have the pincer grip. So it'll help them start picking up small things that's especially on their plate. And that normally only starts at 6 months, which I share with you when we do the brain development workshops. They mustn't immediately spit out what you put in their mouths with their tongues, because they're doing this because it's showing their digestive tract is not ready. And often some children develop faster than others. So as soon as a child has at least 1 tooth, you know, you can move the child to solid. So that's just to give you a quick idea, especially with babies, when to start introducing solids to them. What foods can you use as starter foods for babies? And it's food, it's not grains and cereals. Look at that. Just cook some fruit softly until they're mushy. You can even give them meat that is cooked very soft, just to let them get used to the textures, chicken and mince and fish. And it's boiled, it's not fried. Vegetables, beans, carrots, they absolutely love carrots and sweet potato because it's really sweet. No sugar, no salt. You give it to them, 1 ingredient, plain beans, plain carrots, plain sweet potato. Grains I would use to a minimum. And if I'm going to give a child bread, I would most likely err to whole grain bread. The more roughage there is in it, the better it is for the child's digestive system. I would rather give the children rice cakes and sticky rice. The main reason I'm saying this is There is in wheat, there is gluten, and gluten can give rise to many, many allergies. If you are suddenly sitting in your chair and suddenly you go, I feel as though I've bumped my elbow. Why is my elbow so sore? That could be the result of a gluten intolerance. The gluten has built up in your body, and all of a sudden, it's just saying to you, hey, Aina, stop eating the wheat. So looking at your starter foods, not saying no grains, but saying rather look at your fruits and your vegetables before we move to grains. What foods do you want to avoid? Well, you want to avoid foods that are going to cause allergies. So that's like when they got stuffy noses or they can't breathe, they got rashes. And these are normally due to food sensitivities. But can you see rashes, stuffy noses, runny eyes, red eyes? You're going to think, oh, my child is sick. No, maybe it's the food the child is eating. You want to avoid berries with small hard seeds. So we're looking especially at strawberries and raspberries. Corn products, especially in South Africa, very, very, very tricky. I would really be very wary there. Egg whites, you can give a child an egg yolk, but try and avoid the egg whites in the beginning, especially when they are under 1. Cow's milk. Cow's milk is for calves, baby cows. Cow's milk is not for human beings. So, and that's more because, unless you're going to go and sit under a cow and drink straight from there. But the minute it's processed, big challenges. Peanuts, wheat and wheat products. That's for allergies. Choking risks. You do not want to give children hot dogs. You want to try and avoid nuts and especially popcorn. And remember, I'm now talking about children kind of under the age of 1 year. We're going to look at older than that soon. And hard carrots and vegetables. And other things, foods that I would avoid is a child, and I'm talking about any child, and I'm even going to move it to adults. You do not need added salt in your food, and you do not need sugar in your diet, and especially not fried food. So now you are all going, oh, this woman's totally nuts. What are we going to eat? I mean, I can't survive without salt, and I have to have sugar in my diet. No, you actually don't. You actually are getting enough in your food every day without you having to add any of these things. I'm not going to be talking about salt, but if you're going to look at having salt, as we say in the preschool course when we do our section on setting together a healthy menu, look at buying Himalayan salt, the pink salts. It's a much healthier alternative to have. Sugar, we're going to look at sugar, because sugar to me, it's a big killer, and it is it's petrol for any inflammation that you have in your body. And fried food, your body actually cannot digest fried food. But let's have a look at it. I'm really putting it all out there for you now, and then you can go and absorb what I'm saying. And, spit out what you don't like. It's not your life. It's not my life. I'm just trying to share with you and know that I have applied these in my life. I have not had sugar for over 10 years, and I'm still alive. I try and minimize my fried food. If I do need to make something crispy, I'm more likely going to use coconut oil or avo oil. I do not use sunflower oil because it has been shown that sunflower oil becomes like a petrol when you fry things with it. Another thing we need to keep in mind when we are eating is your tummy is the size of your fist. Look at Lambambino. His fist is not the size of my fist. There you've put different ages there with the fist sizes. So why are you wanting to give a baby as much food on his plate as there is on yours? And I'm not even just talking about babies here. I'm talking about small children and men and women. So next time you put a plate of food in front of yourself, hold your fist above that food and say to yourself, all of that's in that plate has to come into my tummy. I think this is what a lot of us are realizing. we are stretching our tummies way too far. We can eat a lot less, and rather eat less a lot of times during the day than eating 3 big meals in a day. So we are going to be looking at portion size, and we are going to be looking at the quality of the food. Look at this scary photo, and these statistics really scared me. It has now, World Health Organization has now said that parents are going to be starting to bury their own children because of the food we eat. Chubby children are not going to outlive their parents. Fat kids become fat adults. It's body conditioning. You cannot blame big bones. Big bones don't make you fat. Big bones just make you larger, but fat doesn't come into it. And unfortunately, diabetes, 25 years ago, diabetes and insulin resistance and a whole lot of other illnesses that are available, that are now prevalent in children, didn't exist in children. But nowadays, children are having diabetes, sugar sickness, as some people call it. Why? The world hasn't changed, but the food we eat has changed, and our food choices has changed. So keep these things in mind. And change doesn't happen overnight. You didn't get to where you are now because what happened yesterday. It's been a process. And if you're wanting to now move back to a healthy alternative, it's a process, but you need to take that first step. And with my preschool teachers that are listening, especially, you are in an unbelievably responsible position because you are working with under 6-year-olds, and they are the ones that are now developing a condition that you can be putting them down the right road. So there is a diet which is called the SAD diet. It stands for Standard American Diet. And isn't this question, is the SAD diet or SAD slowly killing us? SAD is what's the food choices that's at the bottom there. That is the Standard American Diet. So you can answer that question yourself. I very much erred on the bottom because it was easy and it's nice and it's tasty and it's social. I mean, have the crisps, have the chips, have the hamburgers. And I mean, who wants boring fruit, vegetables, meats? Well, I'm hoping that after today, you're going to ask yourself some questions. And I'm not saying don't have it. I'm just saying change the proportion of what you're having. Chips are nice. I mean, I am one of the first to say that I loved my chips. But gradually, my taste buds have changed, especially when I realized what it was doing to my body. Look at this scary fact, and this is by on a webpage called Natural News. 95% of all chronic disease is caused by food choice, toxic food ingredients, nutritional deficiencies, and lack of physical exercise. 95%. I mean, it's just absolutely, we can actually don't even worry about viruses and bacteria. We can be these super healthy people just because of the food we eat. So the food we eat, we can see. But I'm wanting to now quickly just make you aware of the things you cannot see that's inside the food you eat, especially that is inside the tins and the packets that we eat, because that's convenient, it's easy. Not many of us have enough time every day to buy raw and natural and cook a meal from scratch. So after I share this section, we're going to look at how you can read your labels to see how and where these products are in your food. So we're going to be looking at aspartame, sugar, MSG, GMO, trans fats, and colorants. Now you must probably be thinking, whoa, this woman is now talking Greek, because I mean, what's GMO? What's MSG? What's aspartame? Well, they're in a lot of food you are eating every single day. Let's have a look firstly at aspartame. Aspartame Look at that fact. Ants won't eat it and cockroaches won't eat it. Cats and dogs won't eat it. Houseflies won't eat it. But it's inside the food you eat. Most diets, cool drinks, diet sweets, low sugar products have aspartame inside it. Look at the medicines that has aspartame inside it. Your Barocca, your Energize, your things that you are taking when you're sick because you want low sugar has aspartame in it. What does aspartame do to your body? Have you ever thought about it? Have you actually ever seen that word on your products? Go and have it look at your artificial sugars. You can see there, causes headaches, causes muscle spasms, can cause your heart to beat faster, cause pain, dizziness, makes you fatter, weight gain. I mean, you're taking it because you want to lose weight, but it can actually encourage weight gain, can cause a dizziness in your ear, causes rashes, insomnia, depression. Please, is that what you want to feel in your life? And it's mainly caused by having this ingredient aspartame in your diet because it contains something called phenylalanine, which affects how your brain works. So as soon as I see a product that has aspartame in it, again, it's unbelievably difficult to avoid it. It is in a lot of the stuff we eat, especially our sweets and our junk food. And it does make your tongue, it does give a lovely sensation on your tongue, but I try to keep it to a minimum. What about GMOs? Now you're all really thinking, whoa, GMO, Leona? GMO stands for genetically modified organism. In other words, it might look like maize, but it might not be maize. It's very much prevalent in our products in South Africa, especially in our maize products, which is why I'm using the word maize. In America, they've got it in beetroots, they've got corn syrups, they've even got it in some of their vegetables. So a GMO product is one that has been manipulated. They've taken what is natural and they have said, oh, we're going to make it drug resistant, we're going to make it insect resistant, and we're going to make it water resistant or water strong, drought resistant. And they put this chemical inside the product. In the beginning, they said, oh, what a wonderful discovery. And it's safe for humans. Well, look at the effect it has when true results come out. They used rats because you can very quickly see the effect on the rat's body. Here's a lab rat. That's what his body should look like on the left-hand side. The right-hand side, they suddenly saw, they fed this lab rat with products that had GMOs inside it, and they started developing these little tumors in their digestive system. Now, you're just like a human. You're a big rat. Your digestive system is a little bigger than a rat's, but you are going to have similar symptoms. And look what they discovered it does to adults. It causes allergies and asthma in your respiratory system, in your digestive system. It destroys your gut flora. It causes chronic diarrhea. Look at the bottom. It can actually cause premature deliveries. It can cause spontaneous abortions. It even can cause infertility. No marketer is going to say, hey, look at my product. It's got GMOs in it. You know, don't have to worry. I'm just asking you, ask yourself questions. Why is the world in a sicker state now than what it was 5 years, 10 years, 20 years ago? If the marketers are saying the food we're eating is a better quality and more nutritious, just ask yourself a question. Do I want to put GMOs in my body? And again, it's so difficult to avoid because it's in everything. I want you to look at the different kinds of fat in your food. Remember, fat doesn't make you fat. Sugar makes you fat. But fat can be dangerous for your body, except if you're eating healthy fat. So eat healthy, unsaturated fats, your avocados, your beans, your nuts, and certain kinds of vegetables. Avoid trans fats. Trans fats are these dangerous fats that have pretty much been made by man, and they cause bad cholesterol. So you've always thought fat was fat. Well, go have a look at your labels. You get different kinds of fats. And where do I find my trans fats? And now I can hear a whole lot of you saying, I'm leaving this video. Leona's just not wanting us to eat any food. I love my cookies. I love my margarine. I love my ice cream. Again, very difficult to avoid. You can see that we all eat breads. We all eat pastries, pizzas. I mean, it's one of the easiest convenient foods to be able to share with the family. We all love ice cream. But it's how much are you eating in relation to your other foods that you are eating. That's all I'm asking you to do. Just swing that balance, but be aware of what these products are doing to your body. So you get good fats, you get bad fats. Fats don't make you fat. Sugar makes you fat. So I would also eat high fat milk. I would drink high fat yogurt, or I'm not even, because I don't really eat it, but for children, go for high fat, full cream. The minute you are going for low fat skim milk, you are adding more and more chemicals to it and sugars to it. You're taking it because you want to lose weight. You're taking it because you're wanting the children not to get fat, but in actual fact, you are causing challenges. Sugar destroys your immune system. And unfortunately, it is so difficult to get off sugar. Sugar is more addictive than cocaine. That's a scary fact. Now, you're going to say, but Leona, I only put 1 teaspoon of sugar in my coffee or 2 teaspoons of sugar over my porridge. Well, let's have a look at what I call the dangerous sugars, your hidden sugars. Now, something I'd like you just to keep in the back of your mind, 4 grams of sugar is equivalent to 1 teaspoon of sugar. So this is where when we come to reading our labels, you need to remember that fact. So let's have a look at a label. Here's Fruit Loops. So now if a product is going to be legal and to be on the shelves, they have to have these very comprehensive food labels and data on the side. So there you can see there's Fruit Loops. Trans fats are colored in red, 0 trans fats. Well, of course, there's no fat in Fruit Loops. It's mainly made from maize and grains. But if you go down to where it's in yellow, it says sugars 12 grams. Remember, 12 divided by 4. It means when you eat a half a cup of Fruit Loops, you're actually putting 3 teaspoons of sugar in your body. Then you say, okay, I won't eat Fruit Loops. I'm going to have all bran. The adverts say all bran is very healthy. Well, have a look down there. Again, trans fats, 0. But if we come to where it says sugar, it says 10 grams. So 2.5 teaspoons of sugar. Well, you know, for half a teaspoon of sugar, I think I would rather eat Fruit Loops than all bran. Then you say to me, okay, Leona, I'm going to go totally. The advertisers say, Energy Crunch, have your muesli. Let's read. Half a cup of Jungle Energy Crunch, 18,3 grams of sugar. That's 4.5 teaspoons of sugar in something you are eating that you think is healthier. Rather give me Fruit Loops. Special K, advertised as lose weight, have your cornflakes and your 7 grams, 2 teaspoons of sugar. You know, it's your call. Just start reading your labels and dividing that sugar number by 4 and figure out how much sugar you're putting in your body. Lots of people say, oh, I'm never going to give my children bar 1 chocolate and caramel flavored cereal. 3.5 teaspoons of sugar. There's less sugar in a half a cup of this porridge that everyone's saying, no, I can't have, than what there is in your Jungle, your muesli cereal. And yes, I know there's different kinds of sugar. There's fruit sugars, and you get your cane sugars as well. But sugar affects your insulin, and that is going to affect how your body works. So can you see how marketers can fool you and how dangerous these sugars are? We're going to do a quick demo just now as well. Look at your cool drinks. How much sugar are you putting in your body with 1 can of cool drink? It's no wonder the world is getting fat. And none of those things were available 20, 25 years ago. Now it's part of everyone's diet. You just have a Coke, have a Fanta. Let's have flavored water. Did you know that it's not just flavored water? there is almost 6 teaspoons of sugar in flavored water. I'm sorry, I'm really sounding passionate about sugar, but I have discovered that sugar is the biggest petrol for making inflammation grow in your body. And I really would like you to become very sensitive about it. MSG, monosodium glutamate. It's in the products. It makes food taste nicer. Anything that's orange makes it really, really taste nice. But look at the symptoms, after effects. It almost sounds as though you're going to come down with a heavy cold and heavy flu. Rapid heartbeat, nausea, weakness, headache, drowsiness, difficult to breathe. Look at all the neurological aspects it has, especially in children. Teachers who are putting diets in front of children, hyperactivity and behavior problems. That could be caused by the food you are putting in there. It's a silent killer. It's banned in most countries, except in South Africa. Then you want to look at food colorants. So natural food colorants comes from seeds, fruits, vegetables, algae. Now, only about 10, 15 years ago, they started saying you've got to put all these E numbers on your products because they started realizing the effect that natural food colorants have, or that food colorants have on your body. So they started making chemical food colorants, blues and reds and yellows. But look what it does to your brain. Look at what it does to your child's his brain the whole time, and his skin and his digestive system, especially red and yellow are your most dangerous one. Causes hyperactivity, causes allergic reactions, causes hyperactivity, causes behavioral problems. We just thought the child was being naughty. Maybe next time a child does start behaving, is very emotional, crying, jumping, stamping his feet, doesn't want to sit still, look at what food you've given the child. What have they just eaten as a snack? Was it possibly one of these things? Why do most children cry after they start leaving a birthday party? Why do most children not want to sleep after having been at a party or at a social gathering? Because this is what they have snacked on. We are causing behavior issues in our children. And it's just by the food eating, because we love them and they love sweets. Well, if you really love them, maybe next time give them a carrot stick to eat on. I really sound like a really vicious granny, and it's a challenge being a granny and saying no, no, no to a child, but there are healthy alternatives. So how do you read your food labels? Well, as I said, for a food product to be legal, they have to have food labels on it. If there is not a food label on it, please do not buy that product, because then they are too scared to tell you what's inside it. But like you can see on this packet of crisps, there's a food label. When you're looking at your cool drink bottles, there is nutritional facts and labels. They need to put on calories, fats, sodium. You know what sodium is? It's a nice fancy word for salt. So you're thinking of not having salt, but just look for that word, sodium. Then you've got your sugars. Did you know that there are over 50 different types of sugars that you can call it without putting the word sugar on the product? Here, we're going to quickly do an experiment. Your diet matters. So as I said, your fruits also have sugars inside them. And let's quickly have a look just at a small child, what he might eat in a day. So let's say for lunchtime, we're going to give a child an apple. If you look there by apples, it says 1 apple is equal to 2.5 teaspoons of sugar. Maybe you can do this experiment in your house. So there's 1 teaspoon, there's 2 teaspoons, and 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. So after he's eaten 1 apple, he's already had so much sugar. Then we say, okay, we'll give him a yogurt. So a small tub of yogurt like this. When I read the ingredients on the side there, of which total sugar, it says 12 grams. Remember, 12 divided by 4 is 3 teaspoons. So let's add 3 teaspoons of sugar. 1, 2, 3. 1 apple, 1 small yogurt. That's how much sugar the child's already put in his body. And then he wants a cool drink. And what do most people err to? And I'm not just knocking this product. Please, there's other products that are even more dangerous. But we normally give them some Oros to drink. Oros, this tiny little bottle of, how many mils is this? 300 mils, has got 27 grams of sugar. Divide 27 by 3, and we get up by 4, we get 5, 6, 7 teaspoons of sugar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't even think my plate's going to be big enough. 7. That is how much sugar you've put in a child's body. 1 apple, 1 small yogurt, 1 small Oros cool drink. Do you start to understand the dangers of hidden sugars? Maybe you would like to do this experiment at home. Every time you're going to put something in your mouth, have a look at how much sugar is inside the product, and then from there, decide if you really want to put it inside your body. There's our fats that I mentioned, and please, as you can see in the previous slide, you want trans fats to be 0. 0. You want to start looking at your E numbers on the sides of your product. So there's the numbers, E133, 132, 127. They don't mean anything to you, but the marketers are doing the legal thing. They're putting the numbers there because they know we are never going to go and check up on them. We're going to just see, oh, look at this legal product, E110, E102. Do you know what those chemical currents are doing to your kid's body? Allergic reactions, hyperactivity, growth retardation, infertility, birth defects. You as a teacher have got control over the food the children are eating. You as a mother have got control of the food your family is eating. You as a woman, look after your own body. And do you know where most of these products come from and most of these problems are? You're not going to like me. Knickknacks. Go and read the labels. I mean, it doesn't reflect nicely here. It's got the E numbers till it goes off the roof. It's got GMO products inside it. It's got sugar inside it. Just read your labels, please. That's all I'm asking you to do. Number of ingredients. The less number of ingredients, the more natural the product is. Remember, I talked about natural and organic and versus processed. You want to try and avoid processed as much as possible. So the more ingredients there are on the package, the more processed it is, the less it's actually going to be feeding your body. So let food be your medicine. Let your kitchen be your pharmacy. And let your lifestyle be your physician. Now, remember I said to you that as in the cancer, we're looking at diet, nutrition, and eliminating toxins. Exercise, I'd like everyone just to try and walk for half an hour every day. Look at the difference between a healthy brain and a brain that has been affected by toxins. What kind of brain are you wanting it? Your brain to look up there. No wonder we have Alzheimer's and dementia totally going off the charts as well. So just quickly going to touch on other toxins that are available. Did you know your chemical toxins in your house is over 1,000 of them? From the cleaners you're using, your sprays, they are poisoning the air. The air you're breathing, if you put anything under your nose or near your eyes and it burns it or it causes it to itch, or you go, whoo, please get rid of it. And then don't even think it's just things you're breathing. Think of the places, the surfaces you are touching, because more chemicals are absorbed through your skin than what is actually absorbed through what you are breathing in. And children are touching and crawling around on the floors a lot more. My household is totally toxin-free. Since I started my research 25 years ago, I have been looking for products, and these are the only products I use, the ones that have got BioQuest formula inside it. No allergies, doesn't cause irritations, it's environmentally friendly, it's got 0 chemicals and poisons inside them. This is my multi-clean, my cleaners I use. Safe to use on the skin because it's got a natural base, and you can do the same. I take supplements because the food that we eat is nutritionally deprived because of the soil that is not enriched anymore. So I look at organic food supplements. Look at this just as a quick example. Children can take one of these tablets or two of the chewables, and that is the nutritional value they're getting, as though they've had all of that food. And that's from 2 tablets that have been made organically. Can you hear? Go back to nature. Go back to what God has provided. Try and avoid all these colorful, bright, tasty things that man is providing you. So what can you do just with the food we're eating as we come to an end here? Bottom line, water. You saw how many glasses of water, going from 4.5 glasses for a 1-year-old right up to 8 glasses for you. Can you see you need grains, but then you move your fruit and vegetables, your eggs and your proteins, and your sweets and your oils are like almost non-existent. What does your food plate look like? Does it look like that? Or does it look like that? Just want to ask you the question. You're aware now of a lot more things than you saw. I totally flew through this thing. I really enjoy when I have my workshop going into the details a lot more. But you as a teacher, you as a mother, you needing to put together daily food programs for your children. Here's the balance you're wanting to look at. Your fruits, your vegetables, your grains, your proteins, your dairy. You need all of those in a day. From your 2-year-olds to your 5-year-olds, 1 cup to 1.5 cups of different things. And they're like what counts as half a cup of fruit is like a half a banana. If you're eating a whole banana, your fist is a lot bigger than a little baby's fist. You can do with a half a banana. Vegetables, have half a cup of, 1 cup of leafy greens. That's your lettuce and your spinach and those ones. And with winter being here, you can really make some delicious, nutritious soups. Grains, 1 slice of bread, max. Go and have a look how much sugar there is in bread and salt. You'll be wondering, you'll know now what's causing those headaches and why you're so tired. And your dairy. So thank you for sticking with me. It was an absolute flyby information. I know many of you face many challenges because money is tight, but you know, raw fruit and vegetables is actually a lot better than fruit and vegetables. And you need very little in the line of chicken and mince. We don't need to have exotic foods. And you can actually go cheaper by going more natural. So have fun putting those menus together. If you have more questions, please let us know. As I say, we have workshops and workbooks available. And